Hello and welcome to inspection number 4. So it is a warm but overcast day. Last time we did this we put a feeder on. So let's see how we're getting on with this feeder. I'm going to take the lid off. No one in the lid, but we kind of expected that. And let's see how the feeder is doing. The feeder is bone dry. So we're going to lift the feeder off, glue it down. Wow! Okay, so you can't see what I'm seeing, but inside in the box here, this is a empty super frame that was put on the lid just to give a bit of space for the feeder. I can see the comb has been built up all the way to the top. And take this empty feeder here. Look carefully, there's still a few bees inside it. Just going to leave this down here and let them do their own thing. Leave the lid off the feeder just to let them have a bit of time. So, had smoked the entrance already, we're going to smoke down through the top as well. Going to grab my hive tool, which is just off camera, along with everything else. So my particular way of doing things is having a basket full of gear that I use when I'm doing inspections. So I'm going to take my little basket here, my J-shaped hive tool. We're going to gently loosen the lid. I'm just going to turn the lid ever so slightly sideways, so we don't crush anyone. And a bit of smoke too. Okay, so off comes the lid. Now, I have a bee escape here, as you can see. I'm going to add a second bee escape in a few minutes. I'm going to turn this lid around. As you can see, there are some bees on that. So, what we're going to do is open this jar, and we're going to scrape the few bits of comb that are on the lid. Now, last time I did this, okay girls, relax, come down here. Last time I did this, some of the combs hadn't been drawn out. So again, we're just going to start here. We are going to remove the dummy. We're just going to set it aside down here, no comb or anything on that. So, from the beginning, frame 1, nothing, foundation. Frame 2, foundation. Frame 3, this was the drone comb that they'd been given. And you can see they've started to build that out ever so slightly. So far so good. Now, the more I see this, the more I think I need castellated runners. There's a lot of brace comb between frames 4 and 5. So I'm just going to lift frame 4 out here. Okay, so first things first. Some stored pollen there, and on the back some nectar stores. I'm going to give this a good look around. So lots of different nectar, huge variety of colours as you can see there. Looking for any play combs or any supersedure combs, or any queen cells. So none so far. So far so good. Alright lads, relax. Now it's quite a cloudy day here, so they're a bit pissed off from here. So, separate the next frame. So this is frame 5. This is coming towards the middle of the brood box. This is a possibility of seeing the queen here. Okay, so lots of brood, lots of nectar, with capped honey to the edges of the frame on the right and left of the frame. Turning the frame around again, we have lots of brood, lots of honey, lots of nectar, and some stores there as well. And no sign of any queen cells. Okay, doing well. So the important thing when you're doing these frames, as I understand it, is to be very careful to put them back in the same way you got them. So I'm trying to keep my left hand, damn, bounced the frame, got to be careful about that. Got to keep my left hand on the left hand side. So now we're separating this out. This is frame 6, right in the middle of the hive. If you're going to lift this out, my left hand's going to stay pretty much stationary. Okay, so we can see there that we have some drone cells. Sorry, those big built up ones are drone cells. Lots of brood, lots of nectar. On the back of the frame, keeping my left hand stationary again. Lots of brood, lots of nectar, and some capped honey. Checking the underside of the frame, there is some comb there that I want to take off. So again, just bracing this here. Just going to give these a dart of smoke. Drop that in. Okay, so no sign of the queen on this. My left hand has stayed pretty much stationary, so we should be good. I'm also going to smooth down the top of it there. We can get this brace off. Okay, so back in again. Now I have not seen the queen yet. So that was frame 6. So moving on to frame 7. We're going to lift frame 7 here, nice and carefully. Now, good pattern of brood there. Some honey cells on the left hand side of the frame. You can see the underside also has some comb built up. Oh yeah, look, right, get right close. You can see the little larvae in there, just down the bottom of the cells. Going to check the back of the frame as well, looking for the queen. So again, lots of nectar, lots of brood, and the occasional drone cell. Now again, I'm going to smoke the bottom of it. no sign of the queen, so we're going to put this back in. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So we're on to frame 8. Oh, there she is, back of frame 8. Okay, so frame 8. Lots of pollen stores, lots of brood, some nectar, some capped honey off to the left hand side. Fromage on the back. Again, lots of brood there. Nectar. Just gonna drop that off. Sorry, lads. So, being very careful not to squish Her Majesty. I'm gonna put this frame back in. Ah! The edge of my glove keeps getting trapped under frames, so I'm putting them back in. It's causing the frames to bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're on frame 9. So we're going to lift out frame 9. Ooh, heavy. Okay. So capped honey there and there. Lots of pollen stores and lots of nectar. Then lots of bees on it, so there's lots of nectar on the back of that. That's quite a heavy frame. Yeah, that's mostly stores now. Okay, so frame 10. Which is one of the edge frames, which was just plain foundation. You can see they're starting to build it up now. Some pollen stores, some nectar, and the back is pretty plain. But that's good, they are starting to build it out now, because last time they weren't actually building that out at all, it was just blank foundation. On frame 11, nothing. Low and B. Okay, so I'm going to drop this backwards. So 11, 10. We saw the queen earlier on, so I'm just going to lever this across as one unit, I think. Might be the least damaging way of doing it. Going to give them a dose of smoke. I'm kind of cautious of crushing anybody between the bits of runner. Okay, so all the frames are back in place, and we are going to take our dummy board and drop it back in. Now, we want to put a super on. So we want to avoid crushing anyone. Good dart of smoke, get them all down. Give that a few seconds to work. So we're going to put on a plastic queen excluder. We're going to gently place this down. And we rotate it around so it goes into place and hopefully doesn't kill anyone. So the job of a queen excluder is exactly as it says on the tin. It's to keep the queen out. So I'm loading a super frame on here. So this super is intended as stores for themselves. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 frames. These are Hoffman frames, as you can see. The reason they're Hoffmans is they're shallow across there. Manleys are deeper, which are meant for harvesting. They'll build deeper cells. So we're going to put this in. Queen excluder is definitely down. It's nice and in place. Yeah, so far so good. We're going to take our lid here. We're going to place the lid down. What we're going to do is use 2 Portland bee escapes. They're these clever little yolks. They allow bees to go through this end and out these little winglets. So it means if there's bees up in the roof space, they can get out. The little plastic winglets prevent them from coming back in. So the last thing I want is for them to start building comb up in the crown, above the crown board. So you can see inside in the feeder here, so I'm just going to disassemble it. There's still some bees getting the good stuff. Here inside you can see they built a bit of comb and everything else. We're just going to tip that out there, which was a mistake because that might encourage robbing. But anyway, hopefully they'll lick that up quickly. There won't be anybody pestering them for it. So that's going down there. I have all my bits of brace comb and scrapings from the bottom. So I'm going to put the lid on now. Dear God, this suit is hot. Okay, so brood body, queen excluder, super, has a crown board, has the bee escapes, there's no feeder. The entrance is currently set for 3 notches. We're just going to come over here. Right, so you can see the entrance, they're all nice and happy, and there's 3 dots on the excluder. So that's it for the inspection today. No queen cells. Queen's laying away happily, saw the queen, and the frames have spread out further than we thought they were going to spread. So I think it's justifiable to put the super on. And that's it. Inspection number 4 done. Happy beekeeping, boys and girls. See you next time.